Good afternoon. My name is Miguel Maldonado, and I will talk about introduction to the operation management. This is part of some subjects that we have in management about all the operation process of the industry that we have. Okay, so the first topic that we need to define is what is operation management. We have two kind of variables that we need to analyze here. The first one is the production. So how we can define production? Production is the creation of goods and services. Okay, we have inputs and then we have outputs as a product. We can produce goods that it's a tangible thing, all right, and services that is intangible things. A service can be a consulting, a medical consulting, also. I don't know, plenty of things that is defined like a service, right? And a good, it can be a cell phone, I don't know, plenty of things also, a chair, a table, etc. So the definition of production is the creation of goods and services, all right? So what about the operation management? Operation management is the set of activities that create value in form of goods and services by transforming inputs into outputs. Okay. The main differentiation that we can have between production and operation management is that we create value, right? It's in where we put some value. That is the main differentiation between both, because the final result of the production is the creation of goods and services. As I told you, is the transforming inputs into outputs. Is the same result, right? It is the same result. The production that we have in operation management. Okay, so um, the only difference is that we need to put value, right? An extra value, a competitive advantage. Maybe we can create competitive advantage to create that kind of value. We will see it on the next slides about the details about how we can create this value in the operation management process. Okay, so Ross, Westerfield, and Jordan tell us. They tell us how is organized, how we can organize a company, right? We have this simplified organizational chart, but it is the most common way to see the companies, no, all around the world. We have these stockholders, right? We have this the board. We can call him the board in Spanish. We call him Consejo de Administración, right? And then we have the president of executive director of the CEO. In the US, we call him the CEO, chief executive officer. Then we have the COO, that is the operations director, all right? Then we have the three main areas that we have in all the companies. That is the marketing, all right? The M marketing office, the chief or the CMO, the chief marketing officer. Then we have the CFO, chief finance officer, and then we have the CTO, no, that is the technical instructor, that is the one that supervises the production. Okay, so this is something that we need to analyze, because with this organizational chart is the way of how we can conceive, right, or see how the importance that we have with these areas in particular, in marketing, in the finance and accounting area, and the production area. All these areas, according to Ross, is supervised by the COO, all right, or the operation chief. Okay, so Organizing to produce goods and services, we have these three essential functions as Ross told us in the last slide. We have the marketing that generates the demands. All right, we will see it in the details that we manage in marketing. But in marketing, we have the sales, the advertising, the publicity, the marketing receipts, etc. And all that information, it will provide us all the information that we need to do the production. We will see it in a final scheme in a slide that we have further, okay? So the production, it creates the product. We already told you that. And then we have the finance and accounting process. It tracks how well the organization is doing, pay the bills, collect the money. It's the money. And remember that the money, it's involved with everything in the company. Everything it's about the money, even the decisions that we took in the future or in the present of the company, they are based most of them of the finance. Remember that the finance and accounting, it's a controlling process that we need to have always in mind when we are taking some decisions. Okay, with that process. So we have this example. Imagine we will see the importance that we have in the operation management option decision. Okay, the finance and accounting option decision and the marketing option decision. Look at this. Imagine that we are in a meeting, right? We are in a meeting. I am the COO of the company, and then I need to increase the contribution of the company. All right. We have these variables. This is a financial position statement. It's in English. In Spanish es un estado de resultados. Okay. This is a mandatory thing that we need to have in all the companies. And it is a financial statement that we need to analyze to have a good decision process in the company. So we have this level of sales, no, 100,000, and then we have the cost of goods, 80,000, and then we have the gross margin, that is the mathematical difference between the sales minus the cost, all right? And then we have this funding cost. Imagine that this funding cost is maybe a loan that we have, I don't know, with a bank, all right? We have a loan and then we pay this amount in a specific period, all right? Then we have the subtotal and then we have the taxes, all right? The rate that we calculate for the example is the 25%. It can be more, it can be less than this, but we have this calculation, all right? It represents the 25% of 14,000, okay? Then we have at the end the profit or the contribution that we are looking. So in this meeting, I'm in a meeting, no, with the marketing manager, and then with the finance manager, and with the operation management or the production manager, no, about this. So I want to increase the contribution. So the people of marketing, they propose to me that we can increase the sales in a 50%. All right, that is the option. So let's see what happened. 150,000. No, it is the 150,000. It is the increase that we have here. All right. All right, that is a good option. Then we must be aware of this, that the increment that we will have on the cost, it will be in 100% also. If we don't are taking care in anything, just in the sales, well, we will have this also because we will do an interest in investing in, I don't know, in publicity, in more people, more machines, maybe, etc. So we will increase in the same level. Okay. So and then the gross margin, it will be greater than this. Okay. The finance cost, it will be the same. Then we have the subtotal, the taxes. All right. We really increase the contribution. Okay. This is the first option. So the second option, we have the same level of sales, but we're gonna reduce the finance cost in a 50%. Then we have the same cost of goods, the same gross margin, but here in the finance cost, we reduce in a 50% this finance cost. What represent this? That maybe we need to have, I don't know, to do an adjustment in the bank and maybe pay the half of the loan, or we need to use liquid money for this. Is the only concern that I have for this option. So, but if I have debts and I'm paying that money, well, I can use that money for plenty of things, all right? But this is the option, no? Then we have the subtotal that is greater than the 14,000, and we have the rate of taxes, and yes, we have this level of contribution is greater than this one. Yeah, it is. Then we have another option, huh? Reduce production only at 20%. This is a financial way to see it, no? But we have this the same level of sales, and then we reduce the 20% of these amounts. All right, we reduce the 20%, and then we have this level 64,000. We have this in this level. Then we have the gross margin. As you can see, the gross margin is greater than the others gross margins of the other options. Then we have the finance cost. Remember that is the same in this option. And then we have this subtotal is greater than the other ones. We have this level of taxes, and the better option that we have in this case is to reduce the cost, because the cost is something that is internal. Okay, this is a variable that it will be a fix. Okay, it's like a fix, something that we cannot move. All right, that is the variable that we have in a 20%. It affects, but the key here is to know how many percent represent this of this. Over here, the 20,000 represent the 20%. Over here, it represents another percentage, all right? It represents the 30% also, all right? 20%, 30%. Over here, it represents the 20%, but over here, it represents the 36% of this one. It's bigger than. So over here, in this, we have plenty of problems. Imagine that you need to increase the sales in a 50% from a period. It's a really big challenge that we have in company. But if we adjust the internal cost, it's something different, and we can have the better results. Here is a mathematical way to see it. The next one. So to manage this, the internal things, we have 10 critical decisions that we can manage on the operation management process, or the production process, that is almost the same. But when we are talking of putting value on this, is this: we need to improve the performance in design of in how we design the goods and services, how we manage the quality, the process and capacity design that we have, location strategy, layout strategy, human resources and job design strategy, supply chain management, inventory management, scheduling, and maintenance. So we have three kind of courses that are involved with industrial subject, no, or production subject. We have principles of operation management, quality, all right, and value and supply chain management. These supplements, we can afford them in operation management. This one, I'm sorry, this one, this one, this one, and this one, all the operation management process. Then we have a specific course of quality, and then we have all these four left decisions in value and supply chain management. Okay? So, in a graphic, let's put it in a graphical way to see it. Let's design a scheme about this. Okay? This is a scheme that I have to explain how we can do this process of the operation management process. All right? how are involved with between them the think critical decisions. Okay, first of all, we have this part, no, the marketing, the production and operation options, the finance and accounting option. All right, so the marketing, we will put it marketing over here, right? Because this is like a cycle. I will explain you in a few moments, but this is like a cycle that we have for the operation management. And then we have the operations. Imagine that the operation are this oval, this green oval, right? Are all the operation process. Then we have the production. Imagine that the production is in a specific way. The green internal oval that we have here. And then we have the finance and accounting. The finance and accounting are represented by this line, this green line in all the scheme. Okay? So, how we can start? The marketing. What we manage? The sale, the advertising, the publicity, the marketing receipts, etc. And with this information, we can get a lot of customer needs. Okay? With the customer needs, with that information, it's when we start to design the good of services. All right? As a company, I'm very interested in what the people say, what my customer needs and preferences are. So in that way, I can have this design of goods and services and start to design how I will offer my product to the market. Okay. Then we have continue with the cycle. After I have this design of goods and services, I design a process, and a capacity design, all right, to use in the production area. Okay. Then we have the location strategy, where I'm going to put my facility. Juarez, it's a very good company for the worldwide companies to produce in a manufacturing topics, no? Then we have this special decision that is supply chain management, that is represented by the blue oval, right? It's like an internal process that we have in operation. Then we create the layout strategy in production. We create the layout strategy, right? What is layout strategy? The arrange that I will have in the internal way of how I will produce. Okay, human resources and job design, with the supply chain management office and with the production office, we design how many people we will need for the production. What that people will do, and this is another critical decision. Okay, then we have inventory management. We have three kind of inventories. All right, in this process, imagine that this is when we start with the raw material, and then we have the work in process inventory, and then we have the final inventory. The final inventory are the final goods that we will sell on the market. All right. After that, we have the scheduling. Scheduling is the way of how we gonna do all the programmation. Well, programmation is not the right word, but how we will schedule all the raw material, all the people, all the maintenance, even the maintenance, how we will the maintenance, and the quality, but it's involved with all the production process, no? And this is a process. We can see it as a process, all right? Of how we can do the better improve possible, no, in the performance that we have in the company. This is a way to see it, okay, with the 10 critical decision, and that it's involved with operation, finance and accounting, and marketing, okay. And the final way to see it, we have these variables, no? The cost and the sales. We have a level of cost and a level of sales, all right? The profit is the difference, the mathematical difference that we have about the sales and about the cost. Now, imagine this. Well, the cost is something that we manage internal. We already saw that. and the sales are external. We have plenty of factors that can affect the sales. All right, we cannot manage the sales that we have. Okay, so imagine this, that we have a decrease in the level of sales. All right, so the logical thing that we can do in the company is that we need to reduce the cost. So in that way, we can have the same level of profit. All right. But the mistake that we do here in the companies are that we always uh, do we always manage this this critical decision. All right, we reduce the human resource through design, and maybe that is not the better way possible to improve the cost. We have another 10 critical decisions that we can manage, and so in that way we can take care of our people. All right, that is the important. And regards, that's everything. Thanks a lot.